Okay, everybody, good morning to you, Kentuckiana. It is just about 6 a.m. here on your Tuesday. I'm Grace McKenna.
And I'm Eric King. Listen, it is 62 degrees outside in the vicinity of the airport. It feels so good, but it doesn't feel like August.
No, it feels absolutely amazing. So, Sam, we're coming over to you for another really great day ahead. Before we do, look ahead to a little bit of a warm-up as well.
Yeah, exactly. Heading into the weekend, well, this very cool and just really gorgeous feel to the air is not going to be around forever. We're actually talking about some summertime heat and humidity by the time we get into Friday and the weekend. A quick look at the city, and temperatures so far are staying very comfortable as we get the morning started. Bowman Field 58, Linden at 60. We're hovering just below 60 on the north side of the Ohio River, anywhere from Sellersburg towards Lanesville early on today. And by the Floyd's Knobs area, temperatures are in the mid to upper 50s, but one of the cooler spots on the map is Madison. Right now at 55 degrees, we're actually hanging on to about 59 in LaGrange, and Brandenburg also at 55 and getting your morning started. So the kids at the bus stop today, a few of them may need a light jacket with them as they get out the door, maybe a sweatshirt. But later this afternoon, we'll be at 79. No worries at all in that bus stop forecast and the weather world in Kentuckiana. So today, 79, fall-like conditions. Tonight's low temperature will be 57. So far in Louisville, we've dropped down to about 64 in the city. Tomorrow morning, we'll be at 57. Thursday morning, 56. And we're going to be pretty darn comfortable again tomorrow, a high of 80. 83, though, on Thursday. So along with that warmer air Thursday, it's going to be opening the door for a hot, humid weekend ahead. You don't want to miss it, because in a few more minutes I'll let you know just how hot this weekend will be as temperatures will soar back into the 90s. A quick look at traffic getting out the door. The only crash we currently have is in the Portland neighborhood. It's actually at Duncan Street and North 40th Street. There's an injury with the crash, and the tow truck is on its way to the scene. I'll have more of an update in a few more minutes.
And above all, we need you to beat Donald Trump. And elect Kamala and Tim.
President Joe Biden officially hands the reins of the Democratic Party to Vice President Kamala Harris right there during night one of the Democratic National Convention. Biden called choosing Harris the best decision of his career, while also speaking about the party's plans for campaign issues like reproductive rights.
Yeah, so that was the focus of a speech by Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, who took the stage late in the evening. WHAS11 senior reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton report now from Chicago.
Good morning. Well, no matter how you feel about Governor Andy Beshear, you could argue that he understood the assignment in his DNC address, talking about an issue that is driving so many voters to the polls, and also talking about the very accomplishment that put him on the national map.
A roaring Chicago crowd chanting Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear's name as he stepped up to the podium for a primetime address at the DNC. A concise speech lasting 5 minutes, potentially cementing his role as a rising star in the Democratic Party.
In Kentucky, we put reproductive freedom on the ballot last November, and I beat Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell's hand-picked candidate by more than 5 percentage points.
His remarks centered around reproductive rights, coming from a state where abortion is almost entirely banned.
That fails any test of humanity, any test of basic decency, any test of whether you have any underlying empathy.
Beshear was introduced by fellow Kentuckian, Owensboro native Hadley Duvall, a rape survivor and now national abortion rights advocate.
And now I am honored to introduce another champion for women, a leader who's fought for me and for so many others, Governor Andy Beshear.
Hadley Duvall is one of the bravest people I've ever met.
The governor throwing his support behind the Harris-Walz ticket.
Elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and protect reproductive freedom.
Hours before the high-profile address.
I'm watching to see him show the world who he is.
I sat down with Louisville Democratic Party Vice Chair Roz Welch, who gave me a sense of what to watch for.
It seems like reproductive rights is going to be probably a pretty theme to tonight.
Yes, it's going to be great because women's rights is the battle. This isn't the time for us to go backwards. and take away people's rights.
And just before coming to Chicago, I talked with Kentucky Senate President Robert Stivers, one of the state's most powerful Republicans, about Beshear's ascension on the national radar.
I think he's trying to position himself for other places. What that might be, you'd have to ask him.
For now, Beshear says his focus is helping the Harris-Walz ticket win in November.
I'm so proud to be all in for the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris. Thank you.
But how did fellow Kentucky Democrats react to that speech on the convention floor? We'll have that reaction for you later on in our early evening shows. For now, in Chicago, I'm Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS 11 on your side.
Former President Barack Obama is slated to speak at the DNC tonight. You can watch live coverage right here on ABC starting at 10.
5 minutes after the hour now, more local news for you. Louisville Metro Police Major accused of sexual harassment has been cleared and is now back on the job. LMPD Major Shannon Lauder accused Major Brian Kuriger of sexual harassment during a meeting with LMPD command staff. That meeting was recorded, then released publicly. It was later revealed Kuriger was investigating Lauder and her husband, who also works for the LMPD, for sexual harassment allegations made against them. In a report, independent investigator James Dilbeck found harassment claims during those investigations could not be independently substantiated. Dilbeck determined the two investigations were conducted in a fair, thorough, and impartial way. He says Major Lauder declined to be interviewed. The Lauders have filed a lawsuit against the LMPD, and there's also a separate investigation going on right now looking into how the LMPD handled those allegations.
Local leaders are addressing concerns about rising violence in a popular bar area of the Highlands. On Monday, the original Highlands Neighborhood Association Board hosted a town hall with dozens of people voicing concerns about several recent incidents. Among them, last week, 2 people were killed and injured in 2 different shootings outside Baxter's on Bardstown Road. And earlier this year, a man was shot and killed inside Cafe 360. Board President Ralph Melbourne says over the last 4 years, more people are heading to bars along Baxter Avenue, but there aren't more police officers.
We live in a predominantly safe community with a corridor problem. I don't think that the corridor is being policed appropriately in terms of volume. I think the numbers are low based on the sheer amount of people coming in, mostly for the express purpose of consuming alcohol.
Another issue people brought up was an increase in people in cars playing music and drinking after bars close. For now, the focus is with LMPD and Louisville Metro Alcoholic Beverage Control to find a solution. Most recently, they proposed Cafe 360 forfeit its 2 a.m. liquor license, stopping alcohol sales at midnight.
A lawsuit against the Louisville Water Company has ended in a mistrial. It's one of 4 lawsuits claiming racial discrimination, retaliation, and hostile working conditions. The trial was cut short Monday when a key witness for the defense suffered a medical emergency during a break. Despite objections from prosecutors, the judge was forced to declare a mistrial.
Over the past month, there's been a lot of obstacles that have almost derailed us, and this one ultimately has.
In a statement, Louisville Water said right now the health and safety of the individual is what matters most. We continue to look forward to sharing the facts for our case, as we are confident they will show that Louisville Water treats our employees, no matter their background, with fairness and respect. Attorneys for the plaintiff declined an interview, but said they do want the judicial process to speak for itself.
Sam, let's come over to you. It feels amazing outside.
Oh, it's going to be a great day today. We're actually hovering so far low to middle 60s just after 6 a.m. across central Kentucky and southern Indiana. If you stepped outside so far, you probably noticed it does feel a little brisk for being in mid-August. We're actually at 58 degrees at Bowman Field right now. The airport at 62. We're going to be on our way today in Louisville to only 79 for a high temperature. The first time in over 2 months that we'll struggle to hit 80 degrees.